Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission here, well, it's pretty simple actually. We want to be your shortcut to being incredibly well informed.
I think that's right. We take these big stacks of sources. Could be articles, research, sometimes deeply personal stuff like memoirs, critical analysis.
And we pull out the most important bits, those key nuggets of knowledge and insight for you.
Exactly. We try to present it all with, surprising facts, maybe a little humor where it fits.
But always with real empathy. And today, this deep dive is really custom tailored for you, the listener.
Yeah, we want to cut through all the noise and get straight to the heart of what's often a really profound and, frankly, often heartbreaking story.
Today, we're definitely embarking on an exploration that, well, it requires sensitivity and willingness to look past the easy headlines.
We're diving into a really powerful set of sources that shed light on the very complex, often tragic life of Lisa Marie Presley.
Our goal here isn't just to recount events, it's to move way beyond those superficial narratives, you know?
Right. We want to understand the deeper currents, the roots of her struggles, and really try to grasp why her story still hits so hard for so many people.
What's fascinating, I think, is how these different sources, her own words, people close to her analysis, they let us peel back those layers.
Absolutely. We're moving past the tabloid fascination, hopefully, getting to the real human battles she faced.
Because it's not just about being Elvis's daughter, is it?
Not at all. It's such a deeply human story about pain, about legacy, that constant search for your own identity.
And the sheer courage it takes to face down, well, generations of trauma, really.
Exactly. Now, before we really dig in,
Yeah.
we need to start with an important note, a necessary one.
Yes, we want to be very clear up front. This deep dive touches on some incredibly sensitive topics.
We will be discussing things like drug addiction, serious mental health struggles.
Complex family trauma, and just deep grief. Agonizing grief sometimes.
So we need to be clear. Some of this content might be upsetting. It could be triggering for some listeners.
Absolutely. So listener discretion is really advised as we navigate these difficult parts of her life. They're crucial to understanding, though.
And that raises a point for us, doesn't it? How do we handle this kind of material responsibly, especially someone's personal pain?
Right. Our aim isn't to sensationalize. It's definitely not to judge.
No. It's about impartially conveying the ideas, the experiences, the insights that are right there in the sources themselves.
We're not endorsing any specific viewpoint here.
Just trying to understand and learn from the documented experiences, providing context, clarity to a life that was often, misunderstood.
And importantly, if you or someone you know is struggling with any of these issues we talk about today,
Please know that help is available. We'll have a full list of resources in our show notes.
we really believe in providing that support alongside the understanding. Pathways to healing.
Okay, so with that said, let's start with this.
I was taking up to 80 pills a day and no one knew.
Wow.
Yeah, that quote, it just hangs there, doesn't it?
It really does. Stark. Comes directly from Lisa Marie herself.
An agonizing admission, and it just sets this immediate, raw, emotional tone for everything we're about to explore.
It's like a cold open to a whole lifetime of hidden battles, isn't it?
Absolutely. And to really get her, you have to go deeper than that celebrity surface.
We're not just talking about, the daughter of Elvis Presley.
No, we're talking about a woman whose life, as these sources show us, sometimes in really excruciating detail, was just a profound battle, a relentless one.
A fight for survival, really, against incredible odds,
Yeah.
against this massive, overwhelming legacy.
She was the only child of a king, yes.
Yeah.
Born into this global fame few could even imagine.
But it was never, ever a fairy tale, was it?
Not even close. It was a constant, grueling battle, fought mostly behind the scenes, behind that name.
Under that legacy, under that intense spotlight.
And when you connect that to the bigger picture, her story just completely challenges that whole idea that fame equals happiness.
Oh, totally. Or protection or immunity from anything, really.
In her case, the sources suggest fame often made things worse.
It intensified the struggles, didn't it?
Yeah.
Every slip-up, every vulnerable moment.
Became a public spectacle, stripped of the privacy you need to actually heal.
That hypervisibility. It's something people maybe don't think about when they envy fame. It prevented her from just processing pain quietly.
And it reveals these hidden struggles, like generational trauma passed down in the very family that made her famous.
And the unique pressures of growing up like that. Always in the public eye, constantly trying to be seen for herself.
Trying to carve out her own identity separate from this larger-than-life shadow.
It's a powerful theme, that struggle for self-definition. And the sources really hammer home this core narrative. A child who lost her father way too young.
And in such a public, traumatic way.
Right. And then spending the rest of her life trying desperately to survive that loss, that huge, formative loss.
So this deep dive, it's not just about addiction, is it? Though that's a huge part.
No, it's the story of a daughter who felt silenced, controlled, profoundly misunderstood.
Even as the sources and she herself said, by her own mother.
It's this poignant journey, isn't it? From turning to pills when the pain inside got too loud.
A private coping mechanism.
To then, remarkably, turning to advocacy. Using her voice when she realized that silence, the silence she'd lived in, was deadly for others too.
So let's trace this back, right back to the beginning. What do the sources tell us about her earliest sense of self?
It's pretty heartbreaking, actually. The sources paint this picture of a profound sense of being unwanted.
A feeling she believed started even before she was born, which is just, wow.
Yeah. In her own words, from her memoir, From Here to the Great Unknown, she talked about believing her mother, Priscilla, didn't really want her.
Can you even imagine carrying that from the very start, that sense of rejection shaping your earliest moments?
She wrote, and this is, like you said, a gut punch. I always felt she didn't want me. My mother tried to fall off a horse to miscarry. She didn't want to gain pregnancy weight.
I believe in energy in utero, and I felt it.
That's not just a passing thought. It's this deep, painful belief about her very existence.
Born into incredible fame, incredible privilege.
But maybe not into that unconditional love and acceptance every child needs.
That early feeling, that primal sense of rejection, it just echoes through her life, doesn't it? Influencing relationships, self-worth.
And what's fascinating, or perhaps tragic, is how that initial perceived rejection, that foundational wound,
gets compounded by the sudden catastrophic loss of her father, her one safe person.
Exactly. It wasn't just grief like most people experience it. It was the abrupt, violent loss of her anchor, her protector.
The one person she felt truly connected to unconditionally.
The sources talk about this profound bond with Elvis, not just father-daughter, but almost mythical in her eyes.
She said he was a god to me, that she felt he could change the weather.
That kind of adoration speaks volumes about the safety, the joy, the security she felt only with him.
So when he died, she was just 9. It wasn't just losing a dad.
It was her entire world stopping, as she put it, like gravity left the earth.
The ground just vanished beneath her, leaving this huge void.
And her reaction to that, it's so telling for her future.
Yeah, the sources say she didn't cry at the funeral. She didn't know how.
Didn't have the tools to process something that immense, that public, that traumatic.
So she just shut down.
Classic trauma response, isn't it? The nervous system protecting itself from overwhelming pain. Emotional numbing.
Sources say this meant she couldn't really process the grief. It got trapped inside.
She wasn't just mourning a father. She was mourning the disappearance of the only person who made her feel safe, loved, secure.
Especially amidst all that chaos and the spotlight.
And that shutdown, that suppression of massive grief. It became this deeply ingrained way of coping.
A defense against pain that was just too much. And it tragically set the stage for later self-medication, didn't it? A way to find relief.
Absolutely. That early unresolved trauma, magnified by feeling unwanted, it laid such a fragile foundation.
Losing your main source of safety and love like that, so young.
Especially carrying that initial rejection. The coping mechanisms you develop can be, well, incredibly self-destructive, ironically.
This deep internal wound, plus the unique pressures of her life, it became fertile ground for everything that followed.
It's crucial to understand that starting point, that emotional landscape, to really grasp the challenges she faced later on.
So, moving on from that loss, the sources describe a really stark, deeply troubling spiral into substance use pretty quickly after Elvis died.
Yeah, Michael Edwards, who was Priscilla's boyfriend for a long time, basically a stepfather figure during those turbulent teen years.
She saw it firsthand.
He did. In his memoir, Priscilla, Elvis, and Me, he described Lisa Marie at 14 already deep into drugs.
And this wasn't just like typical teenage trying stuff out.
No, it was a really concerning pattern. Skipping school, stealing liquor from the bar at home, pot, cocaine.
It seems like a desperate search for escape from that internal pain.
He even recalled a specific terrifying incident where she nearly overdosed on cocaine and tranquilizers at a party.
Just 14, that's a crisis point.
It really is. And it makes you wonder, with all the resources they had, what was going on? Why did she decline so fast? Why wasn't more effective help given?
Well, connecting this to the family dynamics, this period seems to show a critical failure in actually addressing that deep emotional pain.
Yeah, instead of therapy or real, consistent emotional support. Priscilla's reported response, according to Edwards and others, was alarmingly passive, almost neglectful.
He quoted her saying something like, "I know, I'm dealing with it."
But it didn't seem like she was. It was as if Lisa's problems were something to be tolerated, a phase not fixed.
And the sources identify this as a pattern, right? This recurring theme of Priscilla being unable or maybe unwilling to really engage with Lisa's struggles.
It raises that sobering question again. What happens when deep emotional pain from trauma is just silenced or ignored?
It doesn't go away.
No, it intensifies. It manifests in other destructive ways, gets louder, more dangerous. Lisa Marie's life showed that so clearly.
And instead of therapy, instead of confronting the trauma, she was sent into Scientology.
Right. Which, whatever its intentions, didn't seem to foster genuine healing for her deep-seated pain.
The sources really highlight that it taught suppression instead.
Lisa herself was critical of it later. She said, they didn't want to hear what I was really feeling. They wanted me to shut it down, label it, audit it, suppress it.
So auditing in Scientology, it's about clearing emotions through specific processes, right?
Essentially, yeah. It bypasses deep emotional processing, pushing feelings down rather than exploring their roots and integrating them healthfully.
And that's a critical point the sources make. When pain isn't processed,
It's not gone. It's just buried, festering, unresolved.
and the more she buried it, the louder it screamed inside her, manifesting in continued struggles.
Exactly. That approach meant her core childhood wounds, losing her dad, feeling unwanted, stayed raw, unhealed, volatile,
Creating this dangerous cycle where the internal struggles were never resolved, just pushed deeper.
making her so vulnerable to finding other, more destructive ways to cope.
Seeking oblivion. It's a tragic lesson in needing to confront pain, not avoid it, for real healing.
Now, there's another layer to this that's so significant, often overlooked, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The sources make it crystal clear that addiction wasn't just her demon, it was a family inheritance.
The ghost of Elvis, as you put it earlier, she lived with it every single day.
She saw exactly what it did, watched it consume the man she idolized, her father.
Elvis died with, what, over a dozen different prescription drugs in his system?
It wasn't casual use, it was a deep, multi-layered dependency.
That managed to avoid any real intervention because of who he was, the environment around him.
And what's fascinating and just heartbreaking is seeing that cycle play out. Addiction in families, especially with pressure, power, lack of boundaries.
Elvis had chronic insomnia, pain, depression, anxiety, all masked with this dangerous mix of pills.
Barbiturates for sleep, opiates for pain, sedatives, uppers for shows, downers to come back down. And the sources say flat out, no one stopped it. Because you didn't tell Elvis Presley no.
It shows the danger of that unchecked power, doesn't it? Preventing life-saving help.
And for Lisa Marie, seeing that destruction up close, watching him be consumed, it created this deep grief, almost a premonition.
It definitely seemed to predispose her to similar patterns.
Like she carried that unresolved pain herself, a heavy legacy, passed down through observation, through trauma.
That specific grief watching addiction take someone you love feeling helpless it never left her.
Became part of her internal landscape, a constant echo.
So, building on that painful legacy, let's fast forward to a moment in her adult life that really underscores how insidious addiction is.
Okay, we're in 2008 now.
Right. And Lisa Marie seemed to be in a different place, older, wiser maybe, seemed stable.
Married again to Michael Lockwood, pregnant with twins, Finley and Harper.
Logically, you'd think, okay, this is a time of joy, stability, a fresh start.
But instead, the sources reveal she was terrified leading up to the C-section birth.
Why? Because she knew what came next. The prescription for pain pills after surgery.
It's such a cool twist, isn't it? An almost predetermined path back to the fight she'd fought so hard to escape.
And this moment, connecting it to addiction, it just profoundly shows how insidious opioids are, even from legit prescriptions.
In that foreword she wrote for the United States of Opioids, she confessed with such honesty.
It only took a short-term prescription of opioids in the hospital for me to feel the need to keep taking them.
Wow, that's powerful. Shows how fast addiction can re-emerge, reestablish its grip, even after being clean for a while.
She had been clean. She had fought so hard to be present for her kids, break those patterns.
But the opioids, given for real pain, just pulled her back under terrifying speed.
And for her, it wasn't just physical addiction. It was that echo of her father's battle.
Showing how deep those past traumas and family patterns run. manifesting in body and mind.
Making recovery this ongoing, vigilant fight against a ghost she thought she'd maybe put to rest.
And the severity of that relapse.
Mm.
It's just shocking.
In her memoir, she said chillingly, "It wasn't recreational. I was taking up to 80 pills a day. It was absolute withdrawal in the big leagues."
80 pills a day. Just try to absorb the magnitude of that struggle.
The physical torment, the psychological torment, it's almost incomprehensible.
Living in constant withdrawal, barely functioning, shrouded in secrecy, terrified,
Yeah.
yet unable to stop.
But she did get clean again, fought her way back, enduring harrowing withdrawals multiple times.
Driven by wanting to be there for her twins.
But the sources emphasize, and this is crucial, the fear never left.
No. This wasn't a problem you just solve and put away. It was part of her. A shadow. Always lurking.
Because addiction for her, it wasn't just personal failing, it was legacy, it was grief.
It was the ghost of Elvis in her veins, as one source put it. That chilling echo.
Shows how deep these patterns run, entwined with identity, family history, passed down genetically and through experience.
And the challenge of mothering twins while battling that renewed addiction. Immense. A constant tightrope.
Between the need for the pills and the deep maternal instinct to protect her kids.
And yet, despite all that, she survived. Again.
It underscores her resilience, doesn't it? Her refusal to be defeated, her will to live even with those heavy burdens.
It's not about not struggling. It's about the fierce, courageous battle for life.
So, given all this struggle, what does it mean for her later life, her ultimate path?
Well, in her final years, Lisa Marie really did find her voice. She turned those incredibly personal battles into this powerful public force for advocacy.
There was this remarkable courageous shift, wasn't there? She just refused to be quiet anymore.
Spoke out about her addiction with such raw honesty, in interviews, in her memoir pages, throwing herself into advocacy work.
She wasn't just surviving anymore. She became the spokesperson for others suffering in silence.
Using her own pain, as she said, to help others survive theirs.
What's fascinating and really inspiring is that transformation. From being silenced by others, by herself, to becoming a true silence breaker.
It raises that question about the power of narrative, right? Taking control of your own story.
She wrote, "I'm not perfect, I'm far from it, but I survived, and I'm still here."
Not just personal endurance, but a rallying cry. An invitation for others to find their voices too.
She didn't just tell her story, she used it.
Wrote that powerful foreword for the United States of Opioids. Supported awareness campaigns. Backed nonprofits like Shatterproof. Prescribed to death.
Actively working to combat addiction, save lives.
By speaking her truth so openly, engaging in advocacy, she wasn't just healing herself publicly. She was actively challenging the stigma around addiction mental health.
Letting her pain serve a purpose beyond herself, becoming a beacon of hope.
It's such a profound act of reclaiming agency, transforming suffering into public good, finding meaning in the darkest parts.
And this commitment to authenticity, to truth-telling, it extended elsewhere too, didn't it?
Yeah. The world often saw her as the tabloid daughter, right? Sensational headlines, perceived eccentricities, a caricature.
But underneath, what they often missed, or didn't care to see.
Was a woman pleading to be understood? Trying to break free from those boxes, that celebrity confinement.
She also, quietly but completely, walked away from Scientology.
And her reason was so insightful, so resonant with her lifelong search for authenticity. "They never saw me," she said. "They only wanted to fix me."
Speaks volumes, doesn't it? That desire for genuine connection, understanding, to be seen fully, flaws and all.
Not just subjected to a quick fix or more suppression of her deep issues, a rejection of any system that didn't honor her full, messy humanity.
And her relationship with her mother, Priscilla. The sources confirm what people speculated about.
Strained, performative, often cold, she never sugarcoated it.
Chose, finally, to say it all out loud. Refused to maintain a public facade that didn't match her inner truth.
Another powerful example of her commitment to authenticity, even when it was hard, maybe controversial.
It shows that journey toward radical self-acceptance. Truth-telling, no matter the consequences.
Finding her voice, living on her own terms, fiercely advocating for herself and by extension for everyone who felt unheard.
So let's unpack the driving force behind all this, the real core of her journey in adulthood.
The sources consistently reframe her character so empathetically, don't they?
Yes, they argue, compellingly, she wasn't reckless like the tabloids said. She was deeply wounded.
Not selfish. She was searching, endlessly searching, for belonging, understanding, connection, healing.
And maybe most powerfully, trying to break the cycles that broke her own childhood, especially for her own kids.
This wasn't just about surviving her pain. It was about transforming it, understanding it.
Ensuring that generational dysfunction, the addiction, the suppression, feeling unloved, didn't define her children's lives.
She said it herself. I didn't want them to grow up feeling like I did, unloved, unsafe, unsure of their worth.
For that maternal drive, it became the central mission for her.
And connecting that to the bigger picture, it's the ultimate act of intergenerational healing, isn't it?
Fighting not just for herself, but fiercely, so her children wouldn't inherit those same wounds, that same silence.
It speaks to this deep, transformative love. And despite their divorce, the sources highlight her enduring bond with Danny Keough.
Father of Riley and Benjamin, describing him as her truest anchor.
That's significant. Shows he found some steady, reliable love outside the chaos and trauma of her family history.
Her children, all four of them, they gave her something real to live for, didn't they?
Grounded her. Gave her purpose beyond her personal pain. A reason to persist, to fight, to break those cycles.
And her music, tragically overlooked often.
Dismissed as just, celebrity output.
But it was so much more. It gave her this essential outlet. A raw voice for those deep, hard-to-articulate emotions.
Songs like Lights Out, Nobody Noticed It.
Yeah.
They weren't just tracks. They were, as one source put it, grief, rage, survival pressed into vinyl.
Her way of processing trauma, screaming what she'd buried.
Yeah. Allowing her pain to resonate outward. For herself, maybe, but also for anyone else feeling unheard, unseen, trapped.
Self-therapy, public confession, lifeline, all in one.
And the echo of that legacy, that commitment to truth, it continues so powerfully through her daughter, Riley Keough.
Right. Lisa Marie had quietly rejected Scientology. Riley, after her mother passed, followed that lead. Stepped away too.
But Riley didn't stop there. She picked up right where her mother left off, meticulously finishing Lisa's memoir.
From Here to the Great Unknown, and, as the source says, telling the truth. Lisa Marie's full, unvarnished truth.
Riley said it so clearly. She was fighting until the end. She just wanted to be seen. That's why I finished the memoir, so people would finally see her fully.
What a testament to her mother's influence, but also to the power of telling your own story.
A daughter ensuring her mother's truth is finally heard, transforming private pain into shared understanding that can help others.
It really underscores that core message of Lisa Marie's life, doesn't it? Silence didn't protect her.
But telling the truth, that just might protect and liberate someone else.
And even though she's gone too soon, her voice, raw, honest, finally heard fully, it's going to echo far beyond her last breath.
An enduring echo of her courage, a legacy of truth and understanding.
But, heartbreak, as you can imagine from a life like hers, it wasn't done with Lisa Marie.
No. There's another profound, ultimately devastating chapter.
The loss in 2020, her son, Benjamin.
Unimaginable. That pain reshaped everything for her. Her fight for survival took on a whole new dimension.
And we will delve into that period and what came after in a future deep dive.
Her story, as we've seen, is one of continuous resilience, immense challenge, a testament to the human spirit.
And it deserves that depth, that sensitivity, that insight. We don't want to rush it.
Absolutely. This structure lets us honor the complexity. Her life wasn't just isolated events, it was a continuous journey.
Each phase sheds light on the others, building a fuller, more empathetic picture.
Exactly. Respecting the gravity by giving each chapter the space it needs.
So, if any part of Lisa Marie's story, her struggles, her courage, her fight for authenticity, if it resonated with you,
or if you or someone you love is struggling right now with addiction, mental health, grief,
please reach out for help. You are absolutely not alone.
We've included a full list of resources in the show notes because understanding is just the first step, right? Finding support, finding healing is paramount.
That includes the SAM-HSA National Helpline, 1-800-662-HELP 4357. A great first call.
For immediate crisis support, you can call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
We also recommend organizations like Shatterproof.org. They have great education and family support for addiction.
And Postpartum Support International, 1-800-944-4773, or postpartum.net for anyone navigating parenthood and mental health struggles.
Plus the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI, at NAMI.org. Crucial resources there too.
And this raises that bigger question for all of us, doesn't it? How do we ensure that conversations like this, unpacking difficult truths,
also provide clear, accessible paths to support?
It's crucial. These resources aren't just an afterthought. They have to be integral. reinforcing that message. Help is available. You're not broken beyond repair.
Every story, no matter how hard, can inspire connection, empathy, and a journey toward healing. You are never beyond help.
Mhm.
This deep dive into Lisa Marie Presley's life, it's such a powerful, almost haunting reminder, isn't it? Fame, wealth, privilege, they offer zero shield against trauma, addiction, deep family wounds.
If anything, for her, born into that relentless spotlight, it often intensified it. That scrutiny strips away the privacy needed for real healing, adds unbearable pressure.
She didn't get to rewrite her ending as she lived it, but through Riley's love and courage, through sources like these, her full, honest version is being told.
Finally heard. And that's the version that deserves to live on, in all its complexity, its tragic beauty.
And connecting it all, her story really challenges us, doesn't it? To look past the surface, the headlines, to understand the why behind the what.
It's such a profound testament to resilience,
Yeah.
even facing a legacy of pain that seems insurmountable.
Her courage in finally breaking the silence, telling her truth, advocating for others. That's her lasting contribution.
A powerful call for empathy, for deeper understanding, for open, compassionate dialogue about addiction, mental health, family trauma, things that are so often hidden.
Thank you so much for joining us for this incredibly impactful, really moving deep dive.
If Lisa Marie Presley's story moved you, if her courage resonated,
Yeah.
share it, talk about it, let her truth echo.
And most importantly, please take care of yourself. Her story deserves to be heard from the beginning in all its raw honesty, so we can learn. And if you're struggling, if you feel unseen, remember her fight, remember her words, stay. Your voice matters too.